Hello, are you ready to make one of those freaking kaftans you like so much? You better be, because we're doing it. Okay, so here's what you need. You need a really big piece of fabric, maybe a curtain panel, maybe a tablecloth, like an 8-seater, maybe a sheet, maybe several smaller pieces of material that you put together to make one very large piece of material. I'm not here to tell you how to live. This is so easy though. So I have, for instance, this curtain panel, and by the grace of God, it is double my height. Let me show you what I mean. This is me, and I can fold it over me, and it comes all the way down. So that's how I know it's gonna be long enough. What you're gonna need to do first is give yourself a head hole. If you have really big boobs, you might want to cut it where your front is going to be longer so that when you put it on, it gets a little more even. If you are an itty bitty titty committee queen like myself, it doesn't matter so much. The easiest neck hole you can do from the center, measure 5 inches each way and cut that. And then you might also want to cut like 2 inches downish. So that's gonna give you, let's make that a little more center, a little shape like this, and your little head should fit right through that little hole. Now width-wise, you can leave it as wide as you want. Truly, there are no limits, or you can cut it to be a lot more fitted. For me, with the one that I made in that last video you saw, I left that bitch as wide as I could. And then what I did was I measured about 10 inches down from the top, and I marked that spot on both sides, and I did a straight stitch from the bottom all the way up to there, about like 3-4 inches on the inside. It gives a little movement, a little flap. I think I did mine like a centimeter away. It wasn't enough. So then once you have those straights, you just zoop, zoop down the sides. You're gonna wanna do some stuff to the neck hole to finish it. I promise I will make a neck hole tutorial soon. I promise. I promise. Zoop, zoop, we did that. Then, maybe before, maybe not, you're gonna wanna figure out where the smallest part of your waist is, or that curve that you like to accentuate. And you are gonna make a few marks there. So if my skinny part of my waist is here, then I'm gonna draw a little dot here and a little dot here. And I'm gonna put some buttonholes there. You probably have a buttonholer on your sewing machine. If you don't, you can just snip and then hand stitch around the edges. Then, okay, so we've zooped our buttonholes, or we've figured out a new way. I'm gonna pretend that we've zooped over here. Okay, then you're gonna need a very long string. We've talked about how to make these before. You make the piece wide, you fold it over, inside out, cute sides kissing, you zoop down the side, and the end, you flip it back the right way. Once you've done that, all you gotta do, thread it through your buttonholes, and then this part is ready to tie behind you, and you'll need one more string, potentially, depending on how wide this is, because this might wrap all the way around you, and you don't even have to tie the back. You can just let it fly. Or you might want to add, in the same spot on the back side, 2 more little straps. I am going to tape them on to show you what I mean. Boop, boop. Okay, sorry. So if you add, you got your long ones through the front, you would tie those on the inside on the back. Then you have these guys that you can kind of have taped at the, not taped, zooped at the same width. You would be able to take these, wrap them around front, and then take these, wrap them around back, and you would be theoretically fully secured. Other things that you can do instead of this way, which I like, because it makes the back look like a cape, and that's just fucking fun. Like, who doesn't want to have fun? Another thing you could do is maybe you cut the width of the fabric to, say, like 4 inches wider than your hips on each side. So if your hips are a total of 40 inches around, then you're gonna want this to be at least like, I don't know, maybe 26 inches. You want it to be able to wrap a little bit around yourself, right? So using Stick Sami as a reference, her hips are this wide. We're gonna wanna make it, Stick Sami got thick hips. I mean, so once you have it a little more narrow, you can add a strap here, 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 and then the same on the back, and really wrap and tie it however you want. Kind of more like those wrap pants that I teach you how to make. So you could do that. And then, you know, as always, you can do literally anything. You can make it more narrow at the top. You can make it wider at the bottom. You can give it a crazy deep V-neck if you want. You can make it very short. You can take the excess off, and maybe you want to make some like sleeves with it out of that because you cut it short and narrow. Truly anything. You cut a hole in the center, you throw it over your head, and you figure out where you want it to be, and that's all it is. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Go make some shit and be weird, you little freaks. I love you. And of course, don't forget to hem all your raw edges, fucking press all your seams open, iron that baby flat. You know, it's the little details that pay off. Don't leave anything exposed. I probably gave you shitty instructions. That's what you love me for. Use your vibes. Thrive. I love you.